Well, welcome to the Inspiration Incubator, everyone. I'm your host, Miss Baker, and today we have not one but two special guests with me. Now, some of you are aware of my fabulous intern, Miss Yari, and she's here today with a special guest. So I'm going to let her take the reins from here and introduce her guest.
Thank you so much, Ms. Baker. So today I'm here with Miss Scott. She is Quest Early College High School's principal. And I had a couple questions for you, but first, how are you, Miss Scott?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Yari.
Okay, so for our first question, it's something more about you. So I wanted to ask, how was life growing up? And are there any specific memories you will never forget?
For me, life was pretty easy growing up. I always tell people the story that I wasn't aware of a lot of things around me because we grew up in East Texas, where life's a little bit slower, and so some of the things that students may have challenges with today were not challenges for us. I'm the youngest of three kids, and I am a third generation educator. So education's always been a part of my life, and one of the things I with people is that I never planned on being a teacher. I always wanted to go the opposite route.
Oh,
I wanted to help people, but I wanted to go the opposite route and help with mental health. I wanted to be a psychologist. But once I graduated from college, and I decided to go in a different direction. So that always kind of sticks out to me as a part of my story because most educators always knew they wanted to teach from being a little bitty kid, and that wasn't my experience with wanting to become an.
right. So what made you fully decide like now I want to want to be an educator?
So when I graduated from college, I got a job at the YMCA. I'm working with the summer day camp kids, and I had a blast. I thought, this is what teaching is like. This is what I want every day is to teach, to have fun with kids, to see them learn new things, to give them new experiences. And that's kind of what helped me make the decision to move into education.
That's crazy because my cousin actually just offered me. Oh, I'm having an interview for a summer day camp, so we'll see how that goes. Let's see if I like it, how it goes.
It's an amazing experience because you get to have just fun with all age of kids, and so that was the great part for me. I worked with elementary up to, I think the oldest kid was 15, so it was a lot of fun.
That's really good. Okay, so my second question was something you kind of already answered. It was what interested you in pursuing education, and was this always the plan? But now we know you kind of wanted to go like a different path, so that
Mhm.
was really interesting to know.
But
Well,
I
also,
did when I was at Sam Houston. I'll share this with you. So when I was at Sam Houston, my degree is in psychology, but I did education courses, and I loved it. But I just because my family was full of educators, I always thought I would do something different. So I did have some
right,
interest because I did take some education courses, but my plan was not to become a teacher.
right, okay. So also on a side note, what are your favorite things to do outside of work?
Oh, wow. So reading is probably the love of my life. I've always been an avid reader. Since I can remember, I've always loved books. But the thing that I do the most now is I practice yoga for some wellness, just to have an opportunity to decompress at the end of the day and not necessarily think about what I need to do for you guys every single day and take, an hour or two a day just to take a break from focusing on students and what's going on with you and how I can help you guys be successful. So but yoga is one of my daily practices that I do outside of school.
That
And I
sounds
did
really nice. It sounds
that didn't
relaxing.
work out. I tried to do a
Yeah.
garden spring. That was not successful at all. I didn't really know what I was doing. So we'll try again next spring to see what happens.
My mom loves gardening. That's like all she does. We'll go to the store and she'll be like, "Look at the plants, look at the flowers," and like all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I love
Yeah, I
flowers
assumed because my
myself.
mom had a green thumb that I would have one, but it's not. That is not what's happening. So we'll just have to try to cultivate my skill a little bit more.
Right. I feel like I'm not gonna have one either, so hopefully she's not expecting that.
Absolutely.
Okay. So my fourth question is, what motivated you into switching from a middle school principal to an early college principal? Because you did used to be middle school, right?
I was at Humble Middle School and a couple other middle schools before coming to Quest.
Okay.
So
So
it's
what like?
so graduation rates.
Oh,
I'm going to
sorry. Go
say,
ahead.
can you hear me?
Yes.
So graduation rates and the opportunity to be able to support students who wouldn't traditionally go to college. So when I grew up with my dad not having a high school education. My mom was educated, and so I understood what an education could do, how it could change pathways for kids. And when you're in a comprehensive high school, you don't always get those same opportunities because there are other things that are pulling at you. There's some sports things. There are UIL activities with performing arts. There are, jobs and life that's pulling at you that you may not get that opportunity to pursue some of those advanced courses. And so when I discovered early college high schools, I thought, man, how can I make a difference in kids' lives in a different way? And being able to afford the opportunity to more students to get the opportunity to be a part of an early college high school, to have that opportunity that they wouldn't get if they didn't know about it. And so when the opportunity for Quest came, I just couldn't resist that opportunity just because I live in the community and I have so many years of experience at some of the feeder middle schools. I thought if parents know that I'm going to be there, they'll send their kids there because of the relationships that I've formed with them and their families over the years. And so that's the reason why I wanted to come to Quest.
And was Quest what you expected it to be like?
Absolutely. It was everything. I tell people all the time, I feel so fortunate to be able to be the principal at Quest. The kids, you guys are exactly what I thought you would be. You're a lot more mature than I thought you would be for sure. But you have the drive, you have the it's everything that I thought it would be.
Yeah, okay. So I have another question. Do you have any advice or something you wish someone would have told you before starting college, for your current seniors or for any future seniors?
Where do I start? There's so much I wish that someone would have told me. I think the most important thing is the opportunity to take advanced courses in high school. That opportunity to do that would save you from having student loans. I think that one of the things that happens in communities that service students at early college high schools is that our students don't always think about what not only what it's doing for you financially, but how it'll impact your family over time when they don't have to worry about the cost associated with at least 60 hours of college credit. That's a savings of over $40,000 in some cases for students who want to stay locally. I wish that I would have known that if I went to a junior college before I went to a four-year university, that at the end I'd have the same degree. So it wouldn't matter where I chose to go to school for the first 2 years. I wish someone would have told me that. I encourage students everywhere, unless they're getting scholarships, to take advantage of that. One of the things I want to encourage seniors from Quest this year is to enjoy college when you go. Take every advantage of the social part of college as well as the academic portions that are there for you, because you're going to come in as a junior. And so you are in a rush already. People are already trying to graduate early. Stay 4 years, get a bachelor's degree and a master's degree while you're there. Those are things that to be able to do that and graduate with a master's at 22 is unbelievable. So take advantage of those opportunities to get those advanced degrees. For sure.
So you would recommend going like straight and get the master's, don't take
Yes.
a break after your bachelor's?
I don't. So as the youngest of three, I was the only one that did not. So I graduated with my bachelor's degree and I decided I wanted to go experience life. And within 2 years, I'm working now and I'm having to figure out how to take care of the responsibilities that you get once you get a job and to go back to school at the same
Right.
time. I do wish I would have stayed. Both my siblings had academic scholarships and were able to get their master's degree without any cost. And so I wish I had taken advantage of that same opportunity that they took advantage of.
And do you have a lot of other possibly like friends or people around you that are saying they wish they would have stayed? in as well to finish their
Well,
master's?
because most of them did it later in life. And so, you have families, you have work, you have all responsibilities. And so, if you can do it when you don't have as many responsibilities and you don't have
Go
those
ahead.
obligations, I would definitely I encourage everyone to stay.
Okay, thank you. I would definitely take that advice.
Absolutely.
Okay, Miss Baker, did you have any questions for Miss Scott?
Oh, well, sure. I'll ask just a few. Well, firstly, when you think about some of the obstacles that you had, Miss Scott, is there anything in particular that you saw as an obstacle? And if so, how did you overcome it? How can you inspire or encourage the students to overcome maybe some obstacles that you've had to face along the way, whether it's in life or through your career?
I would say know your worth and your value. I think that has been the biggest challenge as a minority leader, in both ways, as a woman and as an African American woman. You have to know your value and be very specific in what you want and how you pursue what you want. I think I've been intentional my entire career when it comes to being a principal. I wouldn't accept and look for just any job. I wanted a fit for me. I wanted a campus that I could utilize my skills to make a difference. And so for a few years, I didn't apply for leadership jobs because I did not see a campus that was a fit for me. And you have to take risk. My first principal job, I left my family and moved to Round Rock, Texas. And so that was a huge step for me because I'm very close to my mom. And so for me to do that, but the campus was a perfect fit for me. And I was able to go and make a positive impact on that campus. And so that I would say that you're going to have challenges, but you have to decide, what's your worth and what's important to you, and make sure that what you're looking for is aligned to how you feel about yourself, your values, and those things that really matter to you. Don't just take any opportunity that comes your way. Make sure that opportunity is aligned to your goals.
Awesome. Now, if you were not in education, what do you think that you will focus on as maybe a career choice and why?
So I've always thought about that. There are two different things. I always like to support and care for people. The medical field would definitely have been a route that I would take, if I could stomach some of the things that happen when it comes to actually practice. That would be one of my options. And the other one is I love pets. So that involves caring. And so I would have done something related to veterinary medicine. The only thing is that I'm not a fan of death, as most people are not. And so that would be the hard part of both of those fields for me, just because I want to help. And I know that, death is inevitable, but that would be difficult. And so I think that if I had to choose something else, it would be either in the medical field as a veterinarian or providing some type of care to adults.
Awesome. Well, I just really want to thank you for taking time out of your day to support Yari during her first interview. I hope everyone likes it. She did an amazing job. She will be graduating along with some amazing students, but you know what? We're going to keep in touch and we're always here for her. Plans of Action Houston is so proud of you, Yari. You have been such a joy. And I'm just excited for what life has for you.
I wanted to thank you, Ms. Baker, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to work with you. And this was a new experience for me doing an interview. And I just want to thank you for giving me that little confidence to do this. And I want to thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, Miss Scott. This means a lot. And I'd love to hear more about you. This really meant a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Yari. I love it.